Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the second session in the Women in Law Dialogue series, the focus of which is on women in litigation. I am Nida Mahmood, founder of Learn and your host and moderator for this session. With me is Ms. Anusha Shaigan, Vice President of QuotingTheLaw.com, and our esteemed panelists, Ms. Mariam Haq, Ms. Zainab Malik, Ms. Zoe Richards, and Ms. Rabia Bajwa. Together, in association with Sheikh Ahmed Hassan School of Law, we bring to you this session today. The Women in Law Dialogue series is divided into three parts. In session 1, which was held in February 2016, we laid down the foundation of the series and discussed the various challenges and opportunities in the legal profession that were out there for women. In session 3, we will discuss the non-traditional career options that are available to women, those who choose not to go into litigation or hardcore law practice, what options that they might have. We will discuss those. But today we look at women in litigation. It is a focused session with the aim of creating awareness and addressing the gaps. The idea is to encourage more women to pursue litigation actively in courts and to participate meaningfully in the bar so as to fully realize their potential within the profession. Our purpose and objective is to maximize the utility of this human resource. We do not view it simply as a gender issue. For us, this is also a serious economic concern. Therefore, we will focus on discussing some areas of reform where we're able to then fully integrate women into the legal profession and enable them not just to enter but remain in the profession after graduation and after the initial 1 or 2 years of their practice. With women making up more than half of those entering the legal profession, it is essential for us to ensure that this pool of talent is not wasted. Even in the words of World Economic Forum, maximizing access to female talent is today a strategic imperative for business. Any firm or organization not aiming for gender diverse leadership is limiting its pool of available talent and so clearly missing out on business benefits. But most importantly, this matters to us because for a profession whose guiding tenets are equity in treatment and elimination of bias, we feel that law appears to be failing its women, and so it is our collective responsibility to bail the profession out of this allegation. Today, we will therefore talk about women, rights and practice, as well as on a case for reform to make the legal profession more gender-friendly and inclusive. And in doing so, we'll be learning from the experience of the successful exceptions, some of whom that we have with us today, and see how they overcame their challenges. Over to you, Anusha. Please say a few words before we formally commence.
Hi, I'm Anusha Shaigan. I'm the Vice President at Quoting the Law. It's Pakistan's first legal news and analysis forum, and we have related initiatives as well because we believe in providing access to justice to underserved masses with the use of technology-enabled platforms. So we're in the process of developing a Q&A app where legal questions can be posed. It's already started. We're still in, we're going to officially launch it very soon. Other than that, we have an All Pakistan's consolidated lawyers directory. It's going to be called Vakil.pk. So, we're hoping that you'll sign up for that soon as well. And other than that, we have a legal database for all legal resources. It's called Qanun.pk, and that's going to be launched soon as well. Apart from that, we have a National Law Scholarship Program, and one of our scholars is sitting here with us today as well. She's going to be taking the minutes. And we have almost 12 scholars throughout Pakistan. They're studying at schools of their own choice. We'll try to, invite as many people as possible in this Women in Law Dialogue series because we plan on having this series to be a continuing thing. So, it doesn't end here. I think that's enough about me. We'll move on to our speakers now. Can you please briefly introduce yourselves, and please don't be modest.
I'm Mariam Haq. I'm the Legal Director at Justice Project Pakistan. It's a 7-year-old human rights organization that focuses on the rights of prisoners. So we do direct representations of the most vulnerable and poorest Pakistani prisoners. So that would be prisoners on death row, mentally ill prisoners, juveniles who have been sentenced to death, victims of police torture, and so on.
Ms. Zainab.
My name is Zainab Malik. I work with Mariam at the Justice Project. I'm a program manager. I also have a background in commercial, corporate, and constitutional litigation. And I've also done a bit of a work on human rights. I'm actually a LUMS alumni, so it feels great to be here after 4 years.
Right. Ms. Zoe Richards.
So my name is Zoe Richards. I'm a lawyer by qualification. I was called to the bar of Lincoln's Inn. This was in 2011. Then I subsequently went on and did my master's in law as a Fulbright scholar. My areas of interest would be international humanitarian law. I've written extensively on human rights law, the issues faced by identity and the construction of identity. Currently I'm employed at Coca-Cola Beverages, and I've worked and practiced as a lawyer for about 4 years with Ashtara South Police Chamber.
My name is Rabia Bajwa, and I'm working in this profession for approximately 17 years, and I'm advocate Supreme Court. I'm also in bar politics, and I was elected as finance secretary of the Lahore High Court Bar Association in 2006, and I also served as a law officer as Assistant Advocate General Punjab for approximately 1.5 years, 2012 to 2013-14. So I'm here with you, and I'm also a human rights activist, and I have worked with different international national forums on different human rights issues.
Yeah, so we're very excited that they're here. These are some of the finest women in the legal fraternity, and we're very thankful to them for taking time out and joining us here today. So let's start with Ms. Rabia Bajwa. How do you think the legal profession is failing its women, given your experiences? What challenges have you come across?
मैं स्टार्ट करूँगी आपसे कि जब मैंने शुरू किया तो मैं पोजीशन थी मेरी यूनिवर्सिटी में जब मैंने लॉ में आई आज से 17 ईयर्स बिफोर, एंड जब मैं एंटर हुई इस प्रोफेशन में तो मगर जब मैंने प्रैक्टिस में आना था तो मेरे पास कोई ऑप्शन या कोई ऐसी चॉइस नहीं थी कि मैं किस चेंबर में जाऊँ, और ना ही कोई ऐसी अप्रोप्रिएट गाइडेंस थी. तो ये एक बेसिक चीज़ थी कि जो मैंने फाइंड आउट करना था कि कौन सा चेंबर बेहतर है, और ख़ास तौर पे बीइंग ए फीमेल ये भी हिंड्रेंसेस होती हैं किसी ऐसे मुनासिब चेंबर में जाएं जहाँ पे कंटिन्यूअल एटमॉस्फेयर है और जो ख़वातीन को प्रमोट या इनकरेज करते हैं. तो बहरहाल एक चेंबर में मैं गई, मैंने 1 साल काम उधर शुरू किया जब मैंने, तो उस वक्त बहुत ज़्यादा जो छोटे छोटे प्रॉब्लम्स थे वो ये थे कि हमारे जो सीनियर थे वो बड़े मतलब और तरह की उनकी प्रैक्टिस थी और वो सबॉर्डिनेट कोर्ट्स में नहीं जाते थे. और जब भी आप प्रोफेशन में एंटर होते हैं तो आपको लर्निंग प्रोसेस के लिए आपको स्टार्ट करना होता है सबॉर्डिनेट कोर्ट से. और एक बड़ी मिसकंसेप्शन है हमारे प्रोफेशन के अंदर कि जी नीचे वाली कोर्ट्स का माहौल अच्छा नहीं है और आप उधर नहीं जाएंगे. जब तक आप उधर जाके अपना बेसिक इवन जिसको क्लैरिकल काम कहते हैं वो क्लैरिकल काम नहीं होता, वो आपका ही काम है. जो एक प्रैक्टिसिंग लॉयर है, नोटिस जमा कराने से लेकर आपको अपनी लिटिगेशन की तैयारी के लिए या अपनी ब्रीफ की तैयारी के लिए और आपकी जो पिटिशन्स तैयार करना है, ये सब काम जो है वो एक लॉयर का होता है. तो जब पहले दिन मैं गई तो मुझे ये नहीं पता था कि रोस्ट्रम पे आपने किस साइड पे खड़े होना है. तो ये मेरा एक पहला दिन था, लेकिन मैंने उधर ही उसी माहौल से जाके सीखा. दूसरी बात ये है कि एक कंसिस्टेंसी जो है उसका बहुत बड़ा इशू मैं प्रोफेशन में देखती हूँ. जब हम आते हैं तो ये होता है कि बस फटाफट पता नहीं कुछ हो जाएगा, हम लोग क्योंकि बड़े ख्वाब देख के आते हैं. तो और ये ऑब्वियसली बिल्कुल नेचुरल है कि जब भी आप किसी प्रोफेशन में जाते हैं तो आपके बहुत ज़्यादा चैलेंजेस के साथ आपके ख्वाब होते हैं कि अब हमने पढ़ लिया, वी आर वेल एजुकेटेड एंड वी हैव मेनी एवेन्यूज टू डिस्कवर एंड वी हैव मेनी सक्सेसेस आर वेटिंग फॉर अस. लेकिन प्रैक्टिकली कुछ सूरत हाल और होती है, क्योंकि उसमें जब आप जनरल प्रैक्टिस में हैं तो सबसे पहली बात तो एक तो आपको बेसिक काम का नहीं पता, जैसे मैंने आपको बताया कि रोस्ट्रम पे आपने जज के आगे किधर खड़े होना है. दूसरी बात उधर एक्सप्लॉइटेशन आपकी स्टार्ट हो जाती है क्लैरिकल स्टाफ के साथ भी, कि जब हम जाते हैं तो जो कोर्ट्स के अंदर अमला है जिसको हम एलमत कहते हैं, कोर्ट क्लर्क कहते हैं, असिस्टेंट ऑफ कोर्ट कहते हैं, वो लोग भी आपके साथ कोई इतना अच्छा एटीट्यूड उनका नहीं होता. اور ادھر بھی آپ کو اپنی اسٹرینتھ کے ساتھ کھڑے ہو کے بینگ اے لائر بہیو کرنا ہے, اور آپ کو کبھی یہ نہیں سوچنا کہ میں ایک جونیئر لائر ہوں یا میں سینئر لائر ہوں. یو آر بیسیکلی لائر. اور آپ کا ایک ڈسٹنکشن ہے کہ آپ کو کلیریکل اسٹاف سے آپ مطلب یہ اپنا منشی جو ہے, ایون کہ منشی بھی آپ کو ٹریٹ اپنے سبارڈینیٹ کے طور پہ کرتے ہیں. تو یہ وہ چیلنجز ہیں کہ جو آپ کی اپنی اسٹرینتھ اور آپ کی پرسنالٹی, آپ کا کانفیڈنس جو ہے وہ آپ بہت جلدی ان سے اوور کم کر دیتے ہیں. یہ ایک بیسک جو ایشوز تھے وہ یہ ہیں. اس کے بعد جو جب آپ آ جاتے ہیں اور آپ اپنا جب کام شروع کرتے ہیں تو اس کے بعد یہ ہوتا ہے کہ جو بیسک چیلنج آ جاتا ہے, 1 ایئر آپ نے اپنے کمٹمنٹ سے گزارا اور آپ کو کہیں سے کوئی ایسا انسٹیٹیوشن یا گورنمنٹ پیٹرنائزڈ ادارہ یا کوئی بھی اور بار کونسل پیٹرنائزڈ ادارہ ایسا نہیں ہے کہ جو آپ کو پے کرتا ہوگا. اور فائنینشیل ٹرمز میں بہت سارے جو ہمارے ینگسٹرز ہیں, ایون کہ میلز بھی, وہ پروفیشن کوئٹ کر جاتے ہیں. اور اس میں 2 بیسک چیزیں ہوتی ہیں. ایک تو وہی بات کہ ایک کنسسٹنسی نہیں ان کے اندر ہوتی ہے, اور وہ چیلنجز کو فیس کرنے کی کوئی حوصلہ یا تربیت نہیں ہوتی. تو میرا خیال ہے کہ جو کنسسٹنسی اس پروفیشن کے اندر, ایک تو یہ 2 بیریئرس فار فیمیلز. نمبر 1 ٹو پروو دیم سیلف ایز اے کمپیٹنٹ لائر, اور ان کمپیٹیٹیو انوائرمنٹ کے اندر لائر ہو از کمپیٹنٹ دین دا میلز اور ہو از ناٹ لیس کمپیٹنٹ دین ہر میل کمپیٹیٹرز. ایک یہ چیز. اور دوسرا بیریئر جو آپ نے کراس کرنا ہوتا ہے وہ بینگ اے فیمیل یا بینگ اے لائر, نیو کمر لائر, کہ آپ نے فیچ کیسے کرنی ہے, اپنی مارکیٹ میں کیسے آنا ہے, جو کلائنٹس کی مارکیٹ ہوتی ہے اس میں آپ نے کیسے آنا ہے. کیونکہ جب آپ کسی فرم کے ساتھ اٹیچڈ ہوتے ہیں کارپوریٹ سیکٹر میں, تو آپ کے لیے آپ یو آر بیسیکلی بینگ پیڈ بائی یور آفس اور آپ سیلریڈ ہوتے ہیں. تو وہ آپ کو پرابلمس کا نہیں پتہ ہوتا جو جنرل فیلڈ کے اندر جو لائرس جس کو فیس کر رہا ہوتا ہے. کیونکہ کوئی ایسا میکینزم نہیں ہے کہ جہاں پر آپ کو کسی طرح سے بھی کوئی اسٹرائپنڈ پے ہو رہا ہے یا کوئی سیلری کسی طرح سے آ رہی ہے. جیسے آپ دیکھتے ہیں کہ میڈیکل پروفیشن میں آپ جاتے ہیں تو ہاؤس جاب کے ساتھ آپ کو تھوڑا بہت اسٹرائپنڈ, آلدو کہ بہت تھوڑا ہے, لیکن بہرحال ایک اسٹرائپنڈ ایسا ہوتا ہے کہ جس میں آپ ایک پروفیشن کے اندر آپ بیسیکلی اب کھڑے ہو جاتے ہیں. لیکن لیگل پروفیشن کے اندر ایسا کوئی کنسیپٹ ہی ایگزسٹ نہیں کرتا. اور دوسرا ایک اور بڑی نیگیٹو چیز جو ہوتی ہے فیس کرنی ہوتی ہے فیمیل لائرس کو, وہ یہ کہ بہت بڑے جو چیمبرز ہیں وہ ان کو پریفر ہی نہیں کرتے. وہ فیمیل لائرس میں نے دیکھا ہے جنرل پریکٹس کے اندر بہت کم ایسے آپ کے چیمبرز ہیں, ویل ریپیوٹیڈ چیمبر یا جو بڑے کمپیٹنٹ لائرز ہیں, فیمس لائرز ہیں, کہ جن کے چیمبرز میں خواتین کام کر رہی ہیں. ان کے پاس یہ اپرچونیٹیز بھی نہیں ہوتی. اور پھر اس کے بعد یہ ہوتا ہے کہ وہ کسی نے بتا دیا, کسی طریقے سے, کسی ٹیچر سے, کسی اسٹوڈنٹ سے پتہ چلا, اور وہ دوستوں کے کہنے پہ کسی چیمبر کو جوائن کیا. تو یہ کلائنٹس کو فیچ کرنا, مارکیٹ میں جانا اور یہ کانفیڈنس ڈیولپ کرنا, یہ ایک بیسک چیلنج ہے. ایک تو وہ بیریئر کراس کرنا فیمیل والا, اور دوسرا یہ کلائنٹس جب آپ کے پاس تھوڑا سا مارکیٹ میں کام کرتے ہیں تو پھر ان کلائنٹس کا جو ایک کانفیڈنس لیول ہے وہ آپ نے کس طرح ان کو اٹریکٹ کرنا ہے کہ جی میں آپ کے لیے اسی طرح کے ہماری لیگل سروسز ہیں جیسے ہمارے کوئی میل کولیگس دے سکتے ہیں, بلکہ ان سے اچھی دے سکتے ہیں. کورٹ کا ایک اپنا ڈیکورم ہوتا ہے اور آپ نے اس کی رسپیکٹ ہمیشہ کرنی ہے. لیکن یہ چیز جو ہے آپ کو کچہری میں یا ایون سول کورٹس وغیرہ میں بھی آپ کو یہ ماحول نہیں ملتا. اور انفارچونیٹلی پچھلے 5-7 سال سے یہ چیز زیادہ ایگریویٹ کر گئی یہ پرابلم. تو اس میں جب خواتین ایک ڈیسنٹ اپنے ایکڈیمکس کے ساتھ جاتی ہیں یا ڈیسنٹ اپنے پوسچر کے ساتھ جاتی ہیں, تو وہ آبویسلی کلائنٹس جو ہوتے ہیں وہ خود ہی کہہ دیتے ہیں لو جی ہوتے لڑکی ہے تو پھر اس طرح گل نہیں کر سکے. یہ خیر اچھا. اس کے بعد یہ ہوا کہ جب آپ کورٹس میں جاتے ہیں انڈیسنٹ جو آپ کا جو ماحول ہے اس کی وجہ سے آپ لوگ بہت زیادہ پرابلم میں آتے ہیں. اور ادھر یہ ہوتا ہے کہ آپ کو پریفر کرتے ہیں جو آپ کے میل کولیگس ہیں ان کو, جو لیٹیگنٹس ہیں وہ کرتے ہیں. اینی ویز اس بیریئر سے بھی آپ کراس کر گئے, آپ نے محنت کی, بہت زیادہ ہارڈ ورک کی, اور ایسے سولوشنز ان کو دیے, ایسے ریزولوشنز ہوئے کہ اس کے بعد پھر وہ لیٹیگنٹس جو تھے وہ آپ کے پاس ہی وہ آتے رہے. ایسے ہوتا ہے. پھر ہائی کورٹ آ گئی, آپ 2 سال بعد انرول ہو جاتے ہیں ہائی کورٹ کے لیے. اب ہائی کورٹ میں آتے ہیں تو ادھر ایک بڑی پرابلم ہمیں دیکھنی پڑتی, جو ججز ہیں فیس ویلیو بہت زیادہ ہے. پھر آتے ہیں بار پالیٹکس کی طرف. یہ میں موسٹلی جو ہمارے کینڈیڈیٹس ہوتے ہیں کسی کی مینیفیسٹو میں یہ بات نہیں ہوتی کہ ہم فیمیل لائرس کے لیے یا ینگسٹرز کے لیے کوئی پروگرام ہو, کوئی میکینزم ہو, کوئی کنسرن ہو. وہ ایسا کچھ نہیں ہوتا. وہ اگر ان کو سپورٹ بھی کرتے ہیں تو وہ صرف پولیٹیکل پوائنٹ آف ویو سے کرتے ہیں کہ ایک تو ان کے ووٹس لینے ہوتے ہیں, تو جب کبھی گیدرنگ ہوگی ان کے لیے بات کر دیں گے. اور یا پھر یہ ہوتا ہے کہ وہ تھوڑا سا دکھانے کے لیے کہ ہم بڑے پروگریسو ہیں, تو ان لوگوں کو اٹریکٹ کرنے کے لیے تھوڑا سا فیمیلس کو انکریج کرتے ہیں. لیکن آئیڈیالوجیکلی کوئی بھی کینڈیڈیٹ وتھ فیو ایکسیپشنز, کوئی بھی کینڈیڈیٹ ایسا نہیں ہوتا کہ جو خواتین کی پارٹیسپیشن یا ان کو ان کی انکریجمنٹ کے لیے کسی طرح کا کوئی پروگرام دے. اچھا. اس کے بعد یہ ہوتا ہے کہ جی جب یہ سارے پرابلمس ہم مطلب فیس کرتے ہیں, ہم دیکھتے ہیں, تو ہمیں کوئی ایسا ना तो गाइडेंस और ना कोई ऐसा मैकेनिज्म नज़र आता है गवर्नमेंट लेवल के ऊपर या प्राइवेट लेवल के ऊपर कि जो हमारी प्रॉब्लम्स को वो एड्रेस करे.
I'd like to move to the criminal side with Ms. Mariam Haq. Would you please highlight the challenges on the criminal side and how you overcame those challenges?
Initially, when this panel started talking, we were called exceptions, and I completely disagree with that, because that's to show that there are only this many women out there that can make it to a certain point in their career. The exception doesn't exist because we've done something exceptional. The exception exists because there is not encouragement, or there are not enough positions out there that we are willing to grab. And the problem with that is because it's a male-dominated field and a career, the few positions that are there lead women to fight for those positions, and in a way then we are pit against each other and don't provide that encouragement for each other. And there's very few seniors that I've seen like Ms. Rabia, who are this encouraging and who are welcoming towards women and who are pursuing their own careers, because women again will shadow a lawyer for several years and will get nowhere in their career because they will never be given that opportunity to do so. और आपको बहुत एक थिक स्किन जो है वो करनी पड़ती है. इसका ये मतलब नहीं है कि कोई ऐसी जगह नहीं है हमारे लिए टू एंटर इनटू द करियर, टू एक्चुअली पुश फॉरवर्ड एंड डू इट. आई एम नॉट प्योरली क्रिमिनल लॉयर. My practice overlaps with human rights work as well. But I did start with going to the kacheris and going to the courtroom. वो courtroom जो होते हैं ना, मैं आपको उनकी थोड़ी हालत समझाऊँ. आप सोचिए कि कितना कोई कमरा होगा, 10 फुट पर 15 फुट का कमरा होगा, बहुत गंदा. उसमें टूटी सी वो जो पुरानी अलमारियाँ होती हैं वो पड़ी होंगी, जो उनका रिकॉर्ड होगा. उस कमरे के अंदर आपको 30 मेल वकील मिलेंगे जो एक दूसरे के अंदर यूँ खड़े होंगे. वो उन वकीलों के अंदर से आपने रास्ता ढूंढना है कि किसी तरह आपकी आवाज़ जो है वो जज तक पहुंचे, बिकॉज देयर इज नो वे. सो यू लिटरली हैव टू टैप एवरी लॉयर ऑन द शोल्डर एंड से कि प्लीज़ ज़रा रास्ता दे दें, आप वहाँ तक पहुँचें. वो वैसे मेरा कद छोटा है तो मुझे तो और भी प्रॉब्लम होती है, क्योंकि वो यहाँ पर शुरू होते हैं तो मुझे यूँ करके खड़ा होकर जज को देखना पड़ता है. सो ये, और फिर आप जाते हो, यू नो, खैर वेयर ऑल यूज्ड टू बी स्टेयर्ड एट एवरीवेयर दैट वी गो, चाहे हमने बुर्का पहना हो या चाहे हमने पैंट शर्ट पहनी हो. घूरना तो सब ने है, लेकिन कोर्ट में जो आपको वो घूरियाँ मिलती है ना, वो एक और ही किस्म की होती है. सो वो सारी चीज़ें बेयर करने के लिए एंड टू स्ट्रगल एंड टू पुश थ्रू दैट आपको एक काफ़ी थिक स्किन करनी होती है. एंड यू नीड टू कंसिस्टेंटली कीप रिमाइंडिंग योरसेल्फ कि यू हैव एवरी राइट टू बी देयर. यू नो, you are not being given some sort of favor by all the men that you're surrounded by, and you have to keep pushing through. But I think that as women, this is why I appreciate what's happening in this dialogue that started, because you know, if you look at it, कोई भी अगर किसी मेल लॉयर की कोई प्रॉब्लम हो जाती है, किसी का नेफ्यू को कुछ हो जाता है, तो वो पूरी लीगल कम्युनिटी उनके पीछे पहुंच जाती है. स्ट्राइक हो जाती है पूरे पाकिस्तान, हर प्रोविंशियली स्ट्राइक हो जाती है कि जी फलाने को कुछ हो गया. तो यू नो, बट अगर कोई विमेन की प्रॉब्लम आती है या अगर कोई औरतों की प्रॉब्लम आती है, तो देयर इज नो फोरम that is banding together and doing that. And if we don't do that for ourselves, then we can't expect men to do that for us, because we cannot any longer wait for men to make this room for us. We have to keep pushing forward and encouraging each other to I know that what I've said is not very specific to criminal practice in Pakistan, but the problems that exist on the criminal side will exist in different shapes and forms on the corporate side, on the civil side, on the constitutional side, whatever place that you do. So I think that we need to continue talking about these issues, because once we do and we have that awareness and we have that openness, then we can pinpoint those problems and start focusing on how to resolve them.
Right. Thank you, Ms. Zoe Richards.
So taking what Ms. Rabia and what Mariam has said just a little further, I mean, issues की तो सारों ने बात कर ली, and from my personal standpoint, one thing that I've come across a lot is this lack of trust that women have in their ability to band together, and you highlighted that on a small level. But एक ये चीज़ होती है कि आप प्रोफेशन के अंदर आते हो, आपकी एक you feel that the profession is standing there with open arms, willing to and ready to accept you, and then come the next morning you're like, अच्छा ठीक है, अब मुझे अपनी जगह भी खुद बनानी है, अपनी जगह के अलावा मैंने अपनी रिस्पेक्ट भी खुद बनानी है. अच्छा चलो, जगह भी बना ली, रिस्पेक्ट भी बना ली, उसके बाद आई हैव टू अर्न द ट्रस्ट ऑफ नॉट ओनली माई कॉलीग्स right? I have to earn the trust of my partner, I have to earn the trust of my colleagues. But beyond that also I have to earn the trust of the bar and the profession in which I'm operating in. Okay? So this odds are stacked against women in each and every profession. It's not like law is something different, so to speak. It becomes more interesting as far as law goes, because as advocates, we are taught to and we are trained to advocate for different causes that come in front of us. But somehow or the other, we are unable to advocate our own causes. If one of us feels harassed, for instance, in court, we can come back and talk about it and make fun of it. But no one will take the stand of actually going and reporting it before a tribunal or a bar, or Lahore High Court Bar Association है, उनकी फ़र्क कमिटीज़ है. फ़र्क जगह पे हम रिपोर्ट नहीं करते. क्यों? क्योंकि लोग उंगली उठा के कहें कि भाई ये वो औरत है और ये वो खातून है जिसने आके ये चीज़ रिपोर्ट की थी, right? And then we don't band together as women. ठीक है, उसके अंदर ये होता है कि जिस तरह अभी मरियम ने कहा कि छोटी थोड़ी सी पोजीशंस होती हैं, सारी ख़वातीन एक दूसरे के साथ ही लड़ाइयों में शुरू हो जाती हैं, बजाय ये कि हम इकट्ठे हों और एक फोर्स टू reckon with बने as women as a whole. We end up falling prey to petty politics that other people are orchestrating in front of us. So that's one small thing that I wanted to add. Separately, aapne exceptions ki baat ki. I agree with what Mariam also said, कि exceptions probably उस तरह से है कि we are privileged enough to be in a position where we've been invited at this wonderful panel and we have that sort of reach कि हमें identify किया गया कि आएँ और हम अपनी बातें आपके साथ share करें. But that doesn't mean that they aren't everyday heroes out there in the legal profession, standing in the sun, standing outside the courts, belonging to the same gender as us. ठीक है? Women are there. Women are already a force to reckon with. We just need to band them together in some manner or form and make it one voice instead of, having petty politics face off women against each other. So, I mean, that's one part. This time Mariam ne bhi kaha ki expecting men to do it for you. I think you have to take the first step yourself in the years of practice that I've had so far. रबिया ने भी पहले ये कहा था कि हाई कोर्ट जाना ज़्यादा कन्वीनियंट लगता है क्योंकि लोअर कोर्ट्स के अंदर डर्टी लॉयर्स होते हैं. ठीक है, एंड दिस इज समथिंग दैट अ लॉट ऑफ माय फीमेल कॉलीग्स दैट आई हैव स्टडीड विद आल्सो एंड आई हैव एंटर्ड प्रैक्टिस विद आल्सो, हम लोग साथ में क्लास डिस्टिंक्शंस पे भी बड़ा आ जाते हैं. इवन विद इन वुमेन इट्स as if we're not a marginalized community just by being part of, the fairer sex. We also have to make our own place amongst the ranks. तो उसके अंदर सिर्फ एक छोटी सी चीज़ ये आ जाती है कि you have to learn to trust your instincts. You have to learn to trust other women around you. And you have to understand that you are responsible not just for yourself, but for so many other women who are wanting to enter the profession as well. Maybe you have a small conversation with someone sitting outside the high court bar room and you inspire that person to continue on in a certain career path or take ownership of a certain case. तो उसमें सिर्फ ये चीज़ होती है कि आपने support networks बनाने हैं. bar politics में आप involved हैं. A lot of my friends, like जितने लोगों के साथ मैंने law पढ़ी, none of them are involved in bar politics. तो ये चीज़ हम बड़ा कहते हैं कि the law profession is not suited for women और उसके अंदर तो बड़े अजीब लोग होते हैं, मगर हमने कभी खुद जाके involve होके हिस्सा नहीं लिया एक चीज़ में, तो हम कैसे कह सकते कि अच्छी है या बुरी है, right? So I think that's it from me in terms of the challenges. और अभी हम बाहर बात कर रहे थे तो ऑन अ लेसर सीरियस नोट, छोटे छोटे चैलेंजेस इस तरह के भी होते हैं कि आपका केस कॉल होने लगा है, आपने बाथरूम जाना है. ठीक है, सो एज वुमेन यू हैव दैट वन बाथरूम इन द लाहौर हाई कोर्ट विच इज़ ऑन वन कॉर्नर. अगर आप डिस्ट्रिक्ट कोर्ट्स में चले जाएँ, सिविल कोर्ट्स में चले जाएँ, वो उस कोने पे बाथरूम है, केस आपका यहाँ पे है. So, I mean, these are small things. It's only when you have women on the panel that are making the decisions of how administrative things ought to be, how certain things ought to be formulated from a policy standpoint. तभी आपको एक cross section of ideas or a cross section of opinion मिलेगा, जिसके through you can make probably better decisions. So, that's primarily it in terms of the challenges.
Of course, I mean, I think my fellow panelists have gone into a lot of detail regarding practice, so I don't think I'll go over each and everything over and over again. I think we're all agreed that we face these challenges, and obviously, of course. So I think I'm just going to take a step back and address this big problem, which is of legal education. I mean, the question that arises, and I think I'm talking in terms of my own experience, but obviously it might be an experience that's shared across the board, is our legal education system preparing us for entering litigation? I'm not talking about legal profession generally, I'm just talking about, is the legal education system preparing women litigators? Because what happens is, and we're sitting in one of the finest law schools in Pakistan, so I mean, I think it's only fitting that we talk about this here. And I'm a product of this law school, so I think I can talk about it quite freely. Even in classrooms, aap dekhte hain, as a female law student, in these days, women far outnumber men in the legal education system. Why aren't those women stepping into the litigation? There's a huge discrepancy. There's so many women in this classroom. Where are they going? Why aren't we seeing them in the courts? If we start from the classroom level, who is dominating the classroom discussions? It's men. Why aren't women speaking up? Nobody can dispute the fact that women are very intelligent. Our women law students are quite intelligent. There's nothing keeping them back. But why aren't these women speaking up? Socially, हमारे अंदर एक चीज़ डाली गई है कि as a woman, your opinion is not legitimate. And I think I'm not an anthropologist. I cannot go into why that happens. But there is a feeling at the back of your head as a law student that maybe my opinion is not legitimate. What happens is men are actually being taught कि आपकी opinion बहुत legitimate है. You have a right to your opinion. And men are more likely to think that their opinions are facts. So if you enter a law classroom, and now you can do it as an objective outsider, you will see a man will speak his opinion saying, I know that this. And if you observe the very few women who speak up in class, they'll say, I think that maybe, if I'm not wrong, this is how it is. There's always a qualifier. And if you see that these are your future litigators, who do you think is more likely to enter this profession of litigation where you have to take that step and speak up in court, where there's so many people who are talking over you? Men are also more likely to interrupt women and say, well, actually, let me tell you how it is. There will be a female law student, and we've all been through this because all of us have attended co-ed educational institutions, and a woman will be talking, well, it's how this is. Actually, no. Actually, ye hua tha, main aapko batata hu. And I'm not saying that these men, there's the ill intention there. It's just socially, from the minute we step into school, this has been ingrained into our heads. Now, the second step. There is a serious lack of networking ability that women have. And networking is the key to becoming a good litigator in Pakistan. You have to network at the bar. You have to network with your clients. You have to if you enter a law firm, you have to network with your bosses. Otherwise, you're not going to get ahead. Where is this lack of networking coming in? अब देखिए आपके जो drawing rooms होते हैं, उनमें women are at one side. What are they talking about? Clothes, family problems. I mean, it's true. All of us go through it. I'm sure there's some people who are the exceptions there, but that is the general drawing room in Pakistan. Women are talking about clothes. Women are talking about social lives. Men are talking about politics. I mean, I'm not saying those political discussions have any meat to them, and they're amazing political discussions. But usse hota hai, the boys are learning how to talk the talk. They will take what they're learning in that drawing room discussion and they will bring it to the office. And then they will talk to their bosses about, aapne wo TV pe dekha tha, wo fulane case mein ye fulane lawyer ne ye kaha tha. Because they have learned that from the political drawing room discussion. That's an amazing networking skill. The legal profession, the primary problem that I faced when I entered the legal profession was there's no structure that you can come into. As Ms. Rabia Bajwa also pointed out, the legal structure is there's an apprenticeship model. You have to attach yourself to a senior lawyer and you are dependent on them for your training and you have to be in their good graces. So at the end of the day, your legal training is very much dependent on how much they like you. That's going to determine how much you get paid if you get paid at all. And this can go on for years and years. I've seen people who work with senior lawyers for 5 or 6 years and they don't make a cent because their senior just doesn't think that they're worthy of getting paid. And it could just be that person A, because the senior likes him, gets 20,000 and person B just gets 19 or 18. I mean, there's no structure because there's no structured law firms, so it's really the apprenticeship model. Women aren't good at networking. There's that social barrier that doesn't allow us to speak freely with men. And men have been trained their whole lives to interact with men, and that's why they are excelling in the legal profession. As female associates who work at law firms, and my colleague Amna is here who can also tell you about this, we have this saying, behind every successful lawyer, there's a team of female associates who are doing all the work. So if you go to every single law firm in Pakistan, there'll be this floor full of female associates who are doing the research, who are doing the drafting. They're sitting there till 12 a.m. They're not getting paid. And this has nothing to do with the place that I worked at, because I don't want to take names, because I was actually very fortunate to work at a good law firm. But I'm talking about general practice. There's this floor of female associates. They're doing the research, they're doing the drafting, they're doing all of the work. What happens the next day? Who's going to court? The male associates. The male associates are taking the memos that the female associates are drafting, and they're showing up in court with them. So who is going to get ahead as a litigator? It's not those poor female associates who are sitting there working all night doing the research. It's those male associates who show up in court with those memos. I mean, these are primarily the challenges, and I think my colleagues here have covered everything else. But I think as women, we need to overcome this thing that's put in our head ever since we entered the formal education system, that there is something wrong with us and we cannot assert ourselves. I mean, and I encourage everybody to go to court. The second you entered law school, just go to court. वो जो एक चीज़ दिमाग में डाली जाती है कि कोर्ट बहुत मुश्किल हमसे litigation है, the second you enter court, you'll see how bad the quality of the litigating lawyers are. And then you'll know, I mean, I can do this. But because we don't go to court, we're not willing to take that step. We have this like misconception that I can't do litigation, whereas you can do litigation because the quality is quite frankly not so good.
I'm sorry I'm interrupting, but just to add an example to the quality of litigation, we actually had an ongoing trial where my colleague and I were arguing a motion that we had filed. I can't remember exactly what the motion was, but it was a criminal case, so there was a prosecutor on the other side and there was the two of us on one side. And we're arguing our application, and the prosecutor walks out of court. No notice to the judge. No, he literally just gets up and he leaves because he's that disinterested. He won that motion. So that should tell you about the quality of litigation in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And another thing, this is Ms. Rabi Bajo ne bar ki baat ki. I mean, one of the biggest disadvantages is that there are two separate bar rooms. There's the men's bar room and there's the women's bar room. अब जो men bar room होगा वो बहुत बड़ा सा होगा, and women का जो bar room होगा वो बिल्कुल end में छोटा सा होगा जिसमें women stuff की होंगी. I mean, obviously it's a logistical problem as well, but the problem is that all of the networking and the political bar politics is happening in the men's bar room, which is where you want to be. There is nothing, the justification that the bar gives is, well, women can sit in the male bar room, it's just a co-ed bar room. अब होता ये है कि उसमें जो औरतें आती हैं मेन बारों में उनको वैसा घूरते हैं, ये तो प्रॉब्लम है. फिर एक वो गॉसिप भी शुरू होती है कि इसको देखो. So I mean, these are all of these like small problems that we've internalized so much, but there is a need for us to challenge them, especially as women lawyers.
So it's basically more of, you think, a social dimension to this legal profession as well, and the issues that are out there in the society, and say even our drawing rooms, are perhaps, adding to the woes of women in the profession. Because then how I see it from your discussion, probably a paradigm shift is probably necessary, not just at the professional level, probably at a more basic, or at a more, say, grand norm sort of a level, where a whole paradigm shift in the whole psyche of the society is probably.
I mean, obviously we live in the society and the profession is very much a part of society. अब जैसा कहते हैं ना कि it's very naive to assume that the judge will leave all of his problems at home when he's judging. He's going to judge based on who he is and what society he comes from. It's very much true for the legal profession as well. I mean, why is there disparity between women in the legal profession? The primary reason is because there's a disparity between men and women in the society and professionally. And all of the things that we're highlighting here probably apply to all of the professions as well. So, I mean, we can't take out that social dimension as well.
I mean, piggybacking on what you said earlier, like one thing I was talking about with my mother was predominantly that it has been men who have been setting the rules of what's going to happen. ठीक है, अब मेरी अम्मी डॉक्टर हैं, ठीक है, और वो एक बड़े मज़े की स्टोरी ये बताती हैं कि it was women became acceptable in the medical profession when men wanted to take their women to a woman doctor and not to a male doctor, right? Women also wanted female doctors to talk to about their problems. तो इसलिए जब उनकी demand बढ़ी, तो separately the supply was also there. What Zainab said earlier about essentially ये drawing room discussions being replicated आगे जाके और ख़वातीन की जो बातें होती हैं वो फ़र्क होती हैं, मर्दों की बातें फ़र्क होती है, कोई उसके बीच में ओवरलैप जो है वो नहीं आ रहा होता, अपने अपने छोटे छोटे साइलोज में सारे काम कर रहे होते. तो इसमें यही है कि ऑफ कोर्स men need to take the mantle forward and say कि अच्छा चलो ठीक है, these women who are working in our law firms are doing an excellent job of doing the drafting, are doing an excellent job of putting the case together. So let them argue the case the next day, And women at our end, we need to be in a position where we're able to convince people and not just become silent. मतलब हमारा काम सिर्फ केस बना के देना नहीं है. हम क्यों नहीं कह सकते कि हमें argue भी करने दें? So I mean, we have to take matters into our own hands at some point and stop waiting for things to change around us and then conveniently step in when things have changed. The change that we want to see has to come essentially from us at the end of it.
Okay, so just an open question to the panelists. What contribution do you think that women have made to the profession? If you can highlight those contributions, maybe the awareness level would be quite beneficial for the people that we have with us today. Any contribution in significant terms to the profession?
I can say, the reason why I chose to become a lawyer, because I was fortunate enough to grow up in the late 80s and the early 90s, which is when the women's movement was at its peak in Pakistan. And I saw all of these amazing women coming out on the streets. Also, the Hudood ordinances were very much a reality in our lives. And there were all of these oppressive laws. And it was the first time I saw these women and all of us know who they are and we don't need to name them. But it was so important for me to see female role models that I could aspire to be. And which I think is so important. So, saying that what contribution have women made, I think women, and this could be an overstatement, but I think women have been responsible for strategic litigation in the legal profession. And strategic litigation is basically this concept that you use litigation and you use our fundamental rights to enhance the jurisprudence of the litigation. For example, if there's a right to life, you use strategic litigation to enhance what it applies to. For example, obviously the contribution made by men is also essential, but women have really been at the forefront of the street. A very important case that really inspired me to enter the legal profession was the Saima Vahid case. Just for the first time, the court said that a woman who is an adult does not need the permission of her male guardian to get married. And that it's a woman lawyer. And this is a woman who's making that change in our society. All of us love to complain about there's so much wrong with the society. There really is. But then you see these women lawyers who are coming out in the streets and they're fighting for it, which I think was very inspirational for me. So I think that's how the face of the legal profession changed once women started coming into it.